On today's episode, you must be swift as a Corsian river with all the force of a great typhoon, except you don't because you just have to sit down and play a video game. Welcome to the show, I'm Larry Madavina, and earlier this week Nintendo shocked us all because they weren't at all shocking. The big super crazy huge news that they had to give was the fact that they're making Pokken Tournament, the fighting game we've known about in some capacity for at least about a year. But hey now, if we're getting a Pokemon fighting game, that means we're gonna have to get a fighting game character roster. And since we only know Machamp, Lucario, and Blaziken right now, that means there's so much time to figure out who is going to be in this game. And because I am a self-proclaimed Pokemon master, which I can back up because look at all the Pokemon on that shelf behind me, then I know that I can guarantee you that everything I'm going to say will actually be in the game once the people and the creators of the game see this video and bring me on as a big idea consultant guy. First up, we could not possibly have this game without Hawlucha in it. Why have the boring fighty punchy Pokemon, or have the boring fighty kicking Pokemon, when you can have the totally awesome fighting luchador Pokemon? It's like if you took El Toro Fuerte and the entire cast of Mucha Lucha and any other luchador that was in any 90s cartoon, mixed them all together, but it's even better than that because you get to play as them, and it's a bird, and it's a Pokemon. Hawlucha, oh yeah. And while we're on the subject of borderline offensive Hispanic stereotype Pokemon, we have to have Ludicolo, and not just because he's my favorite Pokemon. This guy would have a greatly awesome moveset. He'd be laying down the mariachi music and getting you grooving to the Mexican beat, and then he'd Mexican beat you down with a set of maracas. It'd be awesome. Now, of course, no fighting game is complete without its lightweight and its heavyweight characters. And you'd think in the Pokemon universe, Machamp would be a heavyweight, considering that he's got all those muscles. But he really only weighs in at about 286 pounds. You need a real heavyweight hitter, and that's why we're going to have in Wailord. Wailord is 47 feet long and weighs over 800 pounds, and he can bounce with the bounce move and just jump in the air and super slam down on Pokemon. And he would take up about 3/4 of the screen. And ain't no fighting game ever uses a Pokemon that takes up 3/4 of the screen. Be original. Wailord that up. Now, if Nintendo-based fighting games have taught me anything, it's that you gotta throw the audience a couple curveballs, which is why I honestly think we need to have Vanilluxe in this game. That is right, Vanilluxe, the double dip ice cream cone Pokemon. Vanilluxe wouldn't fight people with punches, but rather would use type 2 diabetes, just taking pieces of his body off and force-feeding them to the opponents until they get so overbloated and fat and heavy that they don't have the inertia to throw a kick, much less a single punch. And you know what? I think actually dying of too much ice cream sounds way better than getting punched in the face. And of course, no fighting game is complete without that one overpowered final boss character that you want to punch your friends in real life if they dare to choose them in a versus match. And that character's Magikarp. Now you wouldn't expect all the things he could do, but I just shudder thinking about the raw power that this guy would have. He would just be flopping around all unassuming, and then bam, you're dead, your family's dead, your mailman's dead, that cute girl who works at the bank that you hit on from time to time, but you don't have the courage to ask her out because you think that she's way out of your league, she's dead too. And you know what? You just have Magikarp sitting there with his cold, dead eyes, his unassuming Fu Manchu, his orange scales that could cut through your hopes and dreams like a hot knife through a butterfree. He's coming for you. No, man, I'm serious. He's coming for you, he's coming for me, he's coming for all of us. You thought Deadliest Catch had the deadliest catches? No, Deadliest Catch is Magikarp. OP tournament band calling it now. Game's too much for me, man, can't handle it. Do a script on the ground, can't handle it that much. And that's all the time we have left for today, because if I say more bad things about Magikarp, he will come and kill me. What Pokemon do you want to see in this game and why? Let me know in the comments below. And make sure to subscribe before Magikarp kills you next time on Game Gush.